How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Set 6, and just a quick one today. I'm like gradually easing myself back into making content. We do have Expedition 33 that I've been playing through. I'm going to try and get some content out for it, but the last week has been hectic between having an ear infection, having shingles, having a baby. You know what I mean? It's been a bit mad, but we're going to get there. We're going to get caught up on things. I've also got Saga Frontier 2 Remastered that I need to look at and make some content on. There's a lot. So we're going to get to that, but something interesting happened over the last 24 hours, and I figured I'd touch on it. Not so much to report what happened, but more to see what people are thinking. So, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for future content, but let's just jump straight into this. So, over the last 24-48 hours, there was a Comic-Con over in Napoli in Italy, and Yuji Horii was there, who, if you know who the man is, you know, he's like an old school JRPG pioneer. He's the creator of the Dragon Quest franchise. He did a lot of writing on Chrono Trigger. And this is where the story comes up, because there was a little bit of a moment where one of the interviewers, or the interviewer that was doing this panel with Yuji Horii, was asking about Chrono Trigger. And everyone kind of initially took it as Yuji Horii basically confirming that there is some sort of Chrono Trigger Remaster / remake in the works. And I know, we've been here before. We're still waiting for that Final Fantasy IX remake, remaster, whatever that's going to be. So, you know, this isn't new territory for us, but it feels like this is a little bit more flimsy. So, basically, he was asked about it, and the translator turned round and said, essentially, that there is a remake in the works. A few seconds later, though, he seems to go back to Yuji Horii to kind of confirm what's going on, and he then comes back with a "you heard nothing" to the crowd, essentially. And that's it. That's literally the whole story. And this has set the internet off in like a mad state of panic, or confusion, or excitement, I don't know, probably a mixture of all three, about the fact that there could be some sort of Chrono Trigger remake or remaster going on at the minute. You know, it's a project that's being worked on, potentially. Now, there are a few things that could maybe suggest this is the case, and there are a few things that make it sound like this isn't the case. And we'll start with the isn't. The main thing about the isn't is the fact that you do not actually hear what Yuji Horii says at any point. You do not hear him say the words, and I don't know if anyone Japanese has been able to pick up his audio or anything like that and translate it, but as far as we can tell, he said nothing of the sort, and this seems like it may be just the translator misunderstanding, which is a bit concerning. Or maybe Yuji Horii misunderstood the question, potentially. Either way, it doesn't seem like there is anything at all that was actually said by Yuji Horii to suggest that there is some sort of Chrono Trigger remake or remaster in the pipeline. It doesn't seem like it's the case. It seems like it's potentially just the translator getting excited or confused. So that's a possibility, although we still can't 100% rule it out. It'd be very interesting to see if anyone has been able to pick up on like what Yuji Horii himself actually said, and they translate it themselves. There are some bits of footage where you can kind of hear Yuji Horii saying it, but I don't know. I question the validity of any of this. It's very up in the air. It feels at the very best it's 50-50 at the moment. But, you know, I've taken worse odds. I'm going to be real, I've taken worse odds, so 50-50, I'll take it. That feels like it's at best, though, to be honest with you. There are a few translations that seem to suggest that Yuji may have actually said there is a remake being worked on, but I don't know. Now, we have recently seen the Chrono Cross remaster, so maybe that's an indication that we're going to see something. We've seen the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters in recent years, which also lends some weight to the possibility that we may see some sort of remaster of Chrono Trigger. And we've also seen the recent Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, and we've got Dragon Quest 1 and 2 coming in the near future as well. So they're covering a lot of these games. A lot of these old SNES era games are starting to see remakes and remasters and HD 2D remasters and remakes, and Chrono Trigger is the big daddy of these old games alongside Final Fantasy VI, in my opinion. You know, you don't really get much more iconic from SNES RPGs than Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger. It just doesn't get much better. And Chrono Trigger is a very beloved game by a lot of people. So I suppose the question that I'm going to put forwards is, do you think it's going to happen? Do you think we could see this? Did Yuji Horii mess up and leak this? Regardless of what he said, do you think it's something that we could see in the future anyway, just because we've seen this kind of action with, like I say, the Pixel remasters, Dragon Quest, things like that? I think it's possible. I do think it's possible. It's going to be interesting to see how this story evolves over the next week or so. But it seems like there's a strong chance it's just the interpreter maybe getting a bit excited with himself. Maybe Yuji Horii getting a bit confused about the question potentially, because, you know, that can happen when we're hopping between languages and we've got a middleman translating. Things can happen. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. It's only going to be a quick short video, this one. I'm still trying to get a prayer circle going so that we can get this Final Fantasy IX remake announced, because, whew, yeah. And at the same time, how would you feel about a Chrono Trigger remake? Would you need it to be the same game it was previously? Would you be open to changes or tweaks, maybe to the graphical style, maybe to the combat system, maybe to the narrative? Because Chrono Trigger is very definitely one of those games where you could play around with the narrative a bit and keep it thematically in line with what Chrono Trigger's all about. You'd have to be careful, of course, but you could definitely add stuff to Chrono Trigger and tweak it. Anyway, I'm rambling. I just wanted to get a video out. I just wanted to chat to you all. It's been a few days, and this is probably the biggest news that's going on at the minute. So here we are. Also, Play Expedition 33 is real good. Don't give me any spoilers or anything in the comments because I'm not even at the end of Act 1 yet. It's been a rough week, but I am catching up. So we'll talk about it soon, I promise. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe for future content. But more importantly than all of that, have a great day.